Okay, so I wanted to give a real world example of how the sexual and domestic violence institutions can be misused. And I'm taking an example from the Tucson, Arizona case. So, a few years ago, I worked for a place called Cartel Coffee, and I was pretty certain that I was being sexually objectified. I'm still not sure what the issue was. I think it's either a song, a couple of songs, a video associated with the song, or a piece of tape on the back of my phone, or I don't know, the way I was dressed. I don't know. It Victim blaming and sexual violence. It doesn't require much for you to do if you're the victim. It a sexual abuser is going to abuse that way, and they're going to find justifications to do it that are not very substantive, but they just do it. So I had a conversation with the manager about feeling that I was experiencing gender-based violence at work. After that, it was like a wave of misogyny. I saw a few people interested in my profile from the military, one person who looked like they could be an incel, and then people from different organizations in Tucson, Arizona, from the University of Arizona, from the food bank, from other organizations in Tucson. So anyway, it was like it's been with the second Trump administration and the year or two before that, as well as to now, it's been like a wave of misogyny that I've been trying to map and document and study because I find it fascinating. After that, I started to document things in every way that I could through the Attorney General's office, FERPA, the EEOC, police reports. I've tried everything. To try to figure out what happened after my conversation with the manager, and also to figure out the participants in rape culture and misogyny in Tucson. Nothing has really worked, but here I am. I continue. And at the end of April, I was outside getting information about the license plates. I know a lot of the names of the perpetrators on this street that I live on, like the neighbors and stuff. I know a lot of their names, so I've been able to report a lot of those names. But in cases where I don't know the names, I look for the license plates. So I was out one day recording on my phone so that I could report it later to the police. So basically, I take, pictures or videos as you've seen on the YouTube site, so that I can keep track of the perpetrators as I'm reporting them to the police. And when I'm recording it and making comments, and I come back to my home, and one of the neighbors accosts me, and they come out of their house, and they put their phone up, and they ask me what I'm doing, and I told them the truth. So then they send me an email. That was April 15th, 2026. They send an email to my husband. This person's name is Lori Wood Thomas. This is a sexual abuser who is misusing their power to abuse me. They send this email to my husband saying, Sophia called the police this afternoon telling them the neighbors are pedophiles. I was on the porch. She asked me my last name, which I gave her. She reported to them my name and said that I was a pedophile. While I am clear that Sophia has a mental health issue, she just made a false report to the police by giving them my name and accusing me of being a pedophile. You do realize that this is defamation, and by law, I have the right to file a defamation claim. So that person is lying. One, they weren't on the porch, and they came out of their home to ask me what I was doing when I was on my porch. And when they asked me what I was doing, I asked them what their name was because I'm trying to report the sexual abusers around me. So that was April 15th. Because this person is associated with Dwayne Wild, who is the former warden who have reported to the police, I tried to get an order of protection from this individual. Nothing has worked because in Tucson, what I've learned is that sexual abusers all know each other. So they're misusing their connections to basically try to silence and re-victimize me. And so after this email was sent to my husband, um, what happened next is that what I believe happened is that after I reported the neighbors to the police, they contacted, because sexual abusers know each other, they contacted my former spouse, who then requested an order of protection. And I believe this was done as another form of trying to silence and re-victimize me. So I'll read that. This order of protection was approved by the Judge Catherine V. Monroe. This is within the Superior Court, Pima County Superior Court. That judge, in my opinion, should be removed from their position. They are clearly not in the know about how they can misuse power. That order of protection was approved on April 29th, 2026. So those 2 weeks at the end of April when I was reporting the neighbors to the police, it just happens to coincide with this order of protection that was, in my opinion, used to try to silence me. And these are the complaints in that order of protection. It says, defendant disclosed plaintiff's driver's license number on her podcast. I have been documenting the license plates, not the driver's license, but the license plates of the perpetrators of sexual abuse in Tucson. And I've been doing so publicly because I'm trying to get help in preventing further sexual abuse. They say also that plaintiff and defendant were divorced in 2015. I believe the divorce was finalized in 2016. But anyway, and only had contact for co-parenting purposes. Defendant has been accusing plaintiff of stalking, violence against her, organizing others to be violent against her. Defendant called plaintiff a rapist and accused him of attempting to murder her. Over the past few years, she has texted him several times to say things like this, though plaintiff has made it clear he only wishes to discuss co-parenting issues. It's incredible the way that an order of protection can be misused. Yes, I've accused him of rape. I've accused him of abuse, of attempted femicide. And it's fascinating to me that he can use that as a way to say that I'm engaging in domestic violence against him, not the other way around. So that's DARV, the Deny, Attack, Reverse Victim and Offender. He's claiming that he is the victim because I have accused him of those crimes. And there's evidence to contradict many of the statements in here. I mean, he says that plaintiff has made it clear he only wishes to discuss co-parenting issues. This person has sexually harassed me via text. It's not true what they're saying, but they can misuse this institution, this type of document, as a way to reverse the narrative and to try to silence me. There are other people who have tried to silence me as well. When I have tried to confront them about their sexually abusive behaviors. So this is a strategy among many to silence victims, and it needs to be corrected. We need something different. And I think that at this point, my sense is that the way that these institutions are being misused constitutes a public health emergency that we need better governance around. It's been a public health emergency. These institutions have been misused for a very long time, but it just seems to me like we're at a stage where we should be able to do better. And I frankly have not seen any kind of leadership around these issues, and so that's why I have continued to speak up in the ways that I can.